Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name's Danny, and I'm with Missouri Homeschool Alliance. I'm here today with what is the first installment of a new feature that we're going to offer to our members, and that is a weekly video update about the Missouri legislature and what's happening in Jefferson City. I wanted to just come here and let you know quickly what has been going on down there related to homeschool freedom and what we're doing, what we're watching, and we will be sharing more as the session goes on for sure. But I just wanted to give you a quick update of where we are. In case you didn't know, the legislative session began January 8th this year. The first couple of weeks are really busy doing administrative stuff in the legislature. So they are appointing or electing leadership. They are appointing people to committee positions, and they are just kind of gearing up for the year. Now, this week they're finally really getting underway, and some of the committees will start meeting. Some of the legislation will begin moving through. So we figured it's a good time to get started on this weekly feature. I wanted to just give you a quick heads up before we get started. You will find that Missouri Homeschool Alliance has a position as an organization. We will very rarely, if ever, come out and say that we are in support of any piece of legislation. We just, in our experience, we've seen bills that start out looking like they will be great and like they will be good for homeschoolers get bloated and get a lot of stuff added to them that turns a good bill into something that we would be opposed to. So, to save confusion and us flip flopping on issues, we will not come out as an organization in support of anything. Ultimately, our position is that your authority to homeschool your children, your freedom, is not given to you by the legislature. It comes from God, and we don't believe that legislature can give you freedom. So you will not hear us say, oh, we love this bill. We support this bill. That said, I want to communicate what is happening, some things that are working their way. They're in the beginning stages. Some things that we are seeing this year might be interesting to you as a homeschool parent. And so we want to just communicate that and let you know what's happening. We will let you know if there's a bill that we're opposed to, why we are opposed to it, and try to be very clear about that. Okay, so that said, let's just get started. Um, let's talk about school choice first. School choice continues to be a hot topic among legislators this year. And what we are seeing so far coming through looks like a tax credit for homeschooling. So rather than giving money up front in the way that money is given to FPE students and private school students through the Most Scholars Program, we're now looking at the idea of coming in with reimbursement for expenses through a tax credit. Now, we still would stand opposed to that, and the reason is that Missouri has such a fantastic homeschool law. You know, the fact that we are able to homeschool our children without registering with the state, without reporting to anyone, we hold that very dear. That freedom is so important to us that we would oppose the idea of a tax credit because although I'm going to tell you about three bills that all propose a tax credit, they're all a little bit different, but they're all going to require some sort of a certification from the school district that you are not enrolled in the public school. So, in practical application, that becomes a backdoor means to register your child as a homeschooler. So we don't like that. Um, this is something that we will be in contact with legislators more about this week for sure. And we will let you know um, if any of these bills begin to be scheduled for a hearing, or if the time comes that you need to communicate to your legislator how you feel. Um, there are three bills dealing with a tax credit. One is um, Senate Bill 195, that's sponsored by Rick Bratton. And then House Bill 77, sponsored by Kathy Jo Loy. Both of those bills have been um, introduced and first read on the House floor. They've not yet been assigned to a committee. They may go nowhere, but they have been introduced. Now, there's a third bill that we are watching a little closer, and that is Senate Bill 53. That bill has been assigned to the Senate Education Committee. At this point, it has not been scheduled for a hearing, but we are watching it closer because it has been sent to committee. We will let you know what we hear from legislators when we start to talk through this a little bit this week. Senate Bill 53 is sponsored by Nick Schroer. I'm going to leave a couple of links in the description of the video down below so that you can actually find the text of the bill yourself, and you can look at them and figure out what you think about the bills. Now, there's going to be a more detailed legislative literacy training that I'm working on, but I haven't finished it yet. So I will be sharing that with you sooner than later, I hope, this year, to show you exactly what it means when you start to look at the legislation, and how to understand what you're reading, and how to understand the process a little more. But we just want to give you the information so you can start looking at it yourself. Okay, so that's basically what's happening with school choice at this point in Missouri. On top of that, there are a couple of other things that we are looking at that we just want to keep an eye on. Okay, there is a bill that is assigned to committee called Senate Bill 63. That bill is sponsored by Ben Brown, and it would allow homeschool students or virtual public school students to participate in extracurriculars, events, and activities offered by the school district they live in without needing to enroll in the school. Right now, as it stands, MISHA, the organization that governs all of the high school sports and activities, they require 2 seated classes in the public school in order to participate. However, they've left that up to interpretation of each district. So some districts are requiring more than 2 seated classes. Some districts are not allowing homeschool students to participate at all. And so it's very inconsistently applied across the state. I think the assertion of this bill would be that your taxpayers are paying for the tax dollars are paying for those sports or activities, and that you have a right to have your child participate without being enrolled in the district. That is the assertion. Also, the other thing that SB 63 does is it seeks to remove that optional declaration of enrollment that's in our law. You know that if you've been around any time, that you hear us say when someone pulls their child out of public school, just send our letter. Don't sign whatever the school has. That's because the school has that optional declaration of enrollment. This again goes back to the privacy that we have as homeschoolers, and the fact that we don't need permission from the state in order to homeschool, and we don't need to declare our intent to homeschool. So this bill would seek to remove that declaration of enrollment. Again, we're watching Senate Bill 63. It has been referred to the Senate Education Committee. We will provide you with more information when we know if it is coming up for a hearing. Um, and that's that. Then in the House, the Elementary and Secondary Education Committee in the House, there is one bill that has been referred, and that is House Bill 31. That bill is sponsored by Bishop Davidson. He is calling this a homeschool protection bill. It also includes some statutes related to family-paced education, which we don't love the idea of lumping in FPE students and homeschool students in one bill because they are separate types of schooling. Um, so we probably will be needing to talk through that a little bit. But what this bill seeks to do is, number one, also it seeks to remove that declaration of enrollment, the same as Senate Bill 63 does. The other thing that this bill seeks to do is to clarify that, yes, only the prosecuting attorney can see our records as homeschoolers, but that the prosecuting attorney must have probable cause in order to do so. As it stands right now, they don't really have to have a reason to open an investigation into a homeschool family, and this bill seeks to clarify that a bit, because particularly educational neglect in the state of Missouri falls under criminal code, so they really should need to have some cause in order to open an investigation. That is the premise of House Bill 31. It has been referred to committee. It could come for a hearing anytime, and we will be communicating more with you about that bill. Now, there are, let me see here. Oh, there are a couple of other things that have been introduced and first read on the floor, but are not assigned to committee that we're just keeping an eye on. Okay. One is House Bill 1015. It's Melissa Douglas is the bill carrier here, and this bill seeks to modify the compulsory age of attendance to 5 from 7. Now, it does have an exemption built into it for homeschool and FPE school, but there are some problematic things with the way this bill is written. We question about whether that exemption would stand. And overall, we are not in favor of the idea of opening up 167.031, which is our compulsory attendance statute. We're not in favor of opening that up to lower compulsory attendance for any students. So we're watching it at this point. We don't know if it'll get assigned to a committee or not, but we will be paying attention to that bill. And then I think there's one other bill. Oh, one other thing is there is Rick Bratton has a Senate Joint Resolution, SJR 6. Now, if you hear a joint resolution, that means that it is a proposed amendment to the Missouri Constitution. This amendment, well, let me just tell you, it says amends the Constitution to assert the right of parents to participate in and direct the education of their children free from government interference. This bill has only just been read and introduced, or this resolution has only been read and introduced, so we haven't too much to go on yet, but we will keep you in the loop as far as SJR 6 and as it progresses, if it progresses this year, what that looks like as well. So those are the things that we are watching in Jeff City as of now. We will be in regular contact with you. Our plan is to send out a video update every Thursday night. Generally, in the Missouri legislature, they wrap everything up on Thursdays around noon and head home for the weekends. Now, when it gets towards the last few weeks of the session, things get a little crazy and sometimes they end up staying late. But generally speaking, they're gone on Thursdays around noon. And so by Thursday evening, I should be able to put something together and get that to you in a little video update. Hopefully they won't all be as in-depth as this one, but we'll let you know what we're watching, what's happening, what have we seen, what's moving, and what might be coming up for a hearing the following week. If you are following us on our socials, you will find our video updates there. You'll find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, under at Mo Homeschool, M-O Homeschool. And you will find us there. But we know that social media makes it difficult sometimes to see the content that you want. So the very best way to keep up with what we're doing over the next several weeks would be to be sure that you are subscribed to our email list. Email is the best way to be sure that you're getting the information because you're opting in instead of depending on an algorithm to tell you what you're interested in. You can sign up for our email list at our website, which is MissouriHomeschool.org. MissouriHomeschool.org. Go there, sign up for our email. It's free to everybody, and it gives us a way to be sure that we can reach you. If we need to reach you in a hurry, if something is coming down the pike and we need families to get involved, if we need people like you who are interested in what's happening in Jeff City to get involved and to mobilize your contacts and your friends and get down to Jeff City, we want a way to reach you in a hurry. So email is the best way to reach us, and we will try to send an email out every Monday to our subscribers that will be basically what I've said in the video update, but in a much more polished form. I'm sure of it, and with some links you can click, etc. So please do sign up for those. Please come back and see us. I'll be back on Thursday with an update for what's happened this week, and we hope to be in touch very soon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we look forward to getting to know each other better this year. All right, thank you. Have a great week. Happy Monday. Oh, go Chiefs.